Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. We are going to be doing a reading today for those born in the year of the snake. So welcome back, my snake friends. How are we doing this week? Let's find out, shall we, as we shuffle these cards about and we see how things are going for you. I will also be doing the predictions for the year of the snake next week. So if you are interested, make sure you've hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that. Of course, it will be just before the Chinese New Year, which will be in February, which will bring us into the year of the snake, because the year 2025 and the year of the snake start at two completely different times. But we will get that done before the year of the snake begins. So make sure, as I say, to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that. Right, let's stop about there. And we'll take that one from the bottom, we'll take that one from the middle, we'll take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got two negatives and a positive. So right now we're in a bit of a negative place. But as we start to move through this, we have then got that positive to kind of give us a little bit of an uplifting feeling. But as I've always said before, and I try to stress this in every single reading I do, black isn't always an attack and white isn't always all right. It all depends on the compatibility as we flip them over. And that's not necessarily the greatest compatibility, nor is it the greatest card for a snake person. You're emotional. There's a lot of emotional stress, a lot of emotional stuff that's getting you down. Maybe this has caught up with you. Maybe you've been carrying this around for a while, subconsciously or, in the background on the back boiler. And the problem with this is I think you've put something on the back boiler and then you put something else on the back boiler and then you're putting everything else on the back and it's all going onto the back. And now all of that stuff's starting to bubble over. It's all starting to spill and it's all starting to get a little bit messy. And there you are trying to juggle it all when you haven't got any oven gloves. So now you're just burning yourself and you've only got one ladle. So now cross-contamination with all of the different pots and pans and everything's going. And now you've dropped one and now it's all building up. Man, you are emotional. And you have got all of this stuff that you need to express, okay? And I need to say this very, very firmly and very bluntly when it comes to snake people, okay? You need to express any way you can. Because the worst thing for snake people is when they suppress their emotions. And if you suppress that emotion, if you try and hide from it, if you try and put it on the back boiler, this is what you're going to get. What you're going through right now, all of this build-up, all of this tension, all of this agitation and frustration, all of this upset, all of this grief, all of this heavy emotion, all of this build-up, this big black cloud, it's because you've allowed all of that to be suppressed into a backpack that you've carried around with you. And I don't want to cause offense here, but you need to take accountability for this. This is your baggage. Stop trying to hide away from it. Stop trying to just pretend it doesn't exist. It's okay to cry. It's okay to express and voice and talk about it. It's okay to release it into the world and out there into the universe. It's okay to do that. You need to let go of that vanity, let go of that ego, let go of that idea that you need to hide it all away or, being ashamed of it or anything like this. There's nothing to be ashamed about at all. Communication is going to suffer here. You're going to have conflicts. You're going to have ill feelings that are going to start to develop, and this is then going to start causing animosity. It's going to start feeling feelings of sort of jealousy or feeling left out and things like this. And this is not the case. But it's stuff that's going to start building up in that intricate mind of yours. We've got the black rat making an appearance here because there's things that you need to do, things you're not prepared for, things that you haven't prepped for, things that you need to focus on. I also feel like as this is a family card, there's a lot of stuff that you may be or may have suppressed because of family and not wanting to upset things or especially upset people that are closest to you. You don't want to, touch on topics that are going to upset them. You don't want to put things on the table that are going to cause upset and conflict, knowingly. But sometimes these things are necessary because if you don't present that to them or you don't talk about it, again, it leads to suppression. Now, the rat is actually a compatible card for the snake. So, it's not as bizarre as it is, being a snake and a rat. It's not that bad. There's a good compatibility there. But I think that with the family ties or the way the family stuff is orbiting, it is getting a little bit too much. again, it's creating a mess that you do need to address. So address, express, do not suppress. Say it with me, snakes. Come on, say it with me. Address, express, do not suppress. This needs to be your thing, and you do need to follow this through. You need to talk about it. You need to get it out of your system, even if it's just by yourself. Even if it is just writing stuff down and burning that piece of paper, or letting it go into the wind, or whatever. You know, I'm not an advocate for littering or anything, but you know, you need to release this. You don't necessarily have to talk about it to anybody, but you could go out and you could shout it into the wind. You could find ways to try and get this out. But I think communication really needs to be your top priority here, at least to begin with. And if that's impossible, then start looking for alternative avenues. But I mean, we are coming over into a positive, so I'm sure you're going to figure this one out. Also, with that rat being a social card, and there being a lot of social aspects to rats, I feel that's gonna also give you a bit more worry, because you're worried about, you know, your friends, you're worried about relationships that you've got. Are people still interested in being your friend? Are people still wanting to hang out with you? Have you pushed them away? Have you upset them? Have you offended them? Are they thinking less of you? Are they thinking this of you? Are they thinking that of you? You know, again, either address it, express, just do not suppress. Okay? Again, thinking about stuff and probably overthinking stuff. But this is a good card. This is a great card. Fantastic card for a snake person. The white rooster coming into play. Rooster and snakes, they get on incredibly well. They get each other. Let's put it that way. They get each other. They appreciate each other's strengths. They sort of have a keen sense of direction and attention to detail that they share, where they can come together and make things work. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to think this through. You're going to figure this out. You're going to, again, express it. And you are going to solve a lot of problems and find resolution through the expression. It's okay for you to lash out. It's okay for you to shout. It's okay for you to say you don't like something. And I think the thing is you're avoiding that phone call. You're avoiding that part of town. You're avoiding getting into that situation. You're avoiding going to that place. You're avoiding, you know, knocking on the door. You're avoiding whatever it is you're avoiding, when really you should just be going, no, enough is enough. Stop bloody knocking on my door. I'm not interested in what you're selling. Stop phoning me. I don't want a new bloody conservatory or switch energy providers. You know, this is how it is now. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. You need to put that foot down and stand up for yourself. And after that, once you start to express it, strategy, it will gravitate to you. You know, you'll start to be strategic, you'll start to be tactical, you'll start to be able to work it out like a chess game, where if you move this piece, that piece will fall into place. If you address that situation, that will solve this. You have a mind for it. Stick to your intuition, do what feels right for you. But for the love of the gods, my lovely snake people, address, express, do not suppress. Okay? Because the thing with snakes is that you will suppress things so much so that they'll manifest themselves into physical pain, physical ailments. And a lot of this is in the abdomen and in the gut. A lot of this is where you'll carry a lot of that emotional suppression. And we want to avoid that. So we need to start addressing and expressing. You know, it's okay to do that. It's okay to be that person. It's okay to let it all out. Okay? So let's see how you get on with that next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the snake. I hope we see some improvements now that white rooster's come into play, but again, we will find out. My next reading will be for those born in the year of the horse. So if you are interested in what those guys are up to, then I will see you in a video when we do that video for them. If not, I will just I'll see you in my next video that I do for you guys next week in the year of the snake. However, if you would like a more intimate reading, a more in-depth and personalized one, you can follow the link below where there is Patreon. You can click on that. You can find a whole different packages of readings that I will do personally for you guys every month, once a month. So if you're interested, check that out. If not, no worries. I will see you in a video next week. Love and peace.